I have been absolutely enthralled with Pokémon content on YouTube lately. Unfortunately, I simply don't have the artistic prowess to come up with such captivating designs for hypothetical Pokemon. I am, however, a pretty good competitive Pokemon player, especially when it comes to single battles and Draft League. So I thought it would be a fun idea to ask fellow competitive singles and Draft League players what Pokemon they would like to see, with niches that are hard to come by or don't exist in the current mainline games. From there, I used my competitive knowledge and enlisted the help of the wonderful Bosgarong, who will be listed in the description below, by the way. His work is incredible. I couldn't recommend him more. He's been great every time I've worked with him. To take these competitive niches and bring them to life. Today, we're going to design Pokémon that competitive Pokemon players want to see. If you guys do enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, comment down below. Really boost up videos like this. It's not my typical content. I do a lot of single battles, Draft League, things like that. Kind of commenting, interacting helps push it out to other people and lets me let you guys enjoy it so I can continue to do it in the future. We're on our way to 5,000 subs. Really appreciate it. And that being said, let's jump into it. Our first of two designs today comes from a suggestion from fellow Draft League YouTuber, Galvanate. He brought to my attention that we really don't have many great options for Pokemon that can use the ability Airlock. Airlock is an ability that nullifies all weather conditions and their effects on the Pokemon on the field. With sun, rain, snow, and sand all being viable and obnoxious playstyles in single battles, I figured it'd be a welcome addition to the metagame. Right now, we only have Golduck, Altaria, Drampa, and Lickilicky, Pokemon that are largely unusable in the context of shutting down weather at high levels consistently in single battles. And Rayquaza, a Pokemon banned outside of any format other than Ubers. Our goal with this Pokemon is to bridge the gap between these two groups of Pokemon from a viability perspective. Introducing Tranquilo, the peaceful Pokemon. Tranquilo is known for its mastery over the wind, and are often seen quelling nasty storms to protect the people and Pokemon around it. This fairy and flying type was based largely off the Egyptian god Shu, who was the deity of air, peace, and lions. Shu was often known to calm down violent weather, whether that be intense heat or rain, so I figured he would be the perfect inspiration for our Airlock Pokemon here. This also let us play around with the typing a little bit. Fairy representing the peaceful nature and peace it brings to the world around it, and flying obviously referring to its control of the air around it and its ability to quell any storm. Bosgarong used the depiction of Shu as heavy inspiration for the design, and I think it came out wonderfully. Onto its balancing and competitive implications. I designed this Pokemon as a single stage Pokemon, but I still wanted it to be powerful. The comparison base stat total wise I made was Duraludon. Yes, I know Duraludon has an evolution now, but at one point it was a single stage Pokemon with the highest BST, sitting at 535. I gave Tranquilo a BST slightly weaker, sitting at 530. Here is how we distributed said stat spread. 90 HP, 65 attack, 75 defense, 110 special attack, 100 SPDF, and 90 speed. I really wanted to put an emphasis on the Fairy Flying typing being an incredible defensive typing, so much like its fellow type Mon, Togekiss. So there's a pretty heavy emphasis on good natural bulk. Its special defense is positioned a little bit higher at base 100 than its base 75 defense, as most berries lean on the specially defensive side, and it makes sense thematically as calamities and storms are often associated with special attacking Pokemon and moves. Oh, that is outside of Tyranitar and its sand. This emphasis on bulk isn't to say it's passive, as quelling such massive storms requires a good amount of power, so a great natural special attacking stat of 110 will help it out not being a passive blob. 90 speed isn't anything to write home about, but it's a solid speed tier allowing Tranquilo to get the jump on most bulkier threats. Base 65 attack is a big weak point, but we don't want to design a Pokemon that's good at everything, and it gives us more room in our base stat distribution to give it stronger strengths and niches elsewhere. Move pool wise, I might have gone a little bit over the top here, but my thought process was, if a Pokemon was to have incredible control over the weather and the ability to control calamities, it should have the ability to harness those elements of fire, ice, and electric. Therefore, I ended up giving pretty universal coverage offensively to Tranquilo here. I'll have these moves on screen now, but the ones of great importance is said Elemental coverage and Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Heat Wave, stab options in Air Slash, Hurricane, Moonblast, and Dazzling Gleam for doubles players, and great utility / setup options in Roost, Calm Mind, Cosmic Power, Taunt, Encore, Wish, and Defog. This move pool alongside its great stat spread allows it to spec into a myriad of roles, whether they be more utility based, more offensive, or even a setup win condition. Our second competitive niche comes from another fellow Draft League YouTuber, Under the Radar. He had a great idea, asking us to make a Pokemon with another Future Sight-esque move. We have it and a very niche Doom Desire, but that's all. Future Sight is often used by many Psychic types in conjunction with Fighting types and other offensive threats. Due to the lag effect of the attack hitting 2 turns later, It can put the opposition in a position where they have to switch in on an offensive attack, as well as a 120 base power psychic move. This allows for incredible offensive synergy between breakers and pivots. You most commonly see this in singles with the Slowking twins alongside powerful offense in the back. The future sight move I decided to design this Pokemon around will be the ground type, one of the generally stronger offensive typing in singles competitive Pokemon. This delayed ground move will allow for some pretty incredible offensive synergy with offensive flying, psychic, ice, and fire moves. Even ground's neutral offensive coverage will be incredible into a ton of targets. This Pokemon will be designed as a sub-legendary Pokemon. Comparison-wise, think Heatran, not Groudon. I figured this is only fair for a Pokemon with as strong of a signature move as the one we're creating. This Pokemon must exude some kind of primordial strength. I began looking into different myths surrounding earthquakes and their cause. From there, I stumbled across a Mongolian myth. In this myth, it is said that the earth is carried solely on the back of a giant frog, who has fire spewing from his mouth and water from his behind. Don't worry, that won't be literally expressed in the design. This is still Pokemon. It's said that when this massive frog moves, earthquakes ensue. With that in mind, I'd like to introduce Eruptoad, the Earthborn Pokemon. Eruptoad is a Pokemon as old as time, responsible for the formation and distribution of land masses throughout the Pokemon world. It often lies dormant in a hibernation-like state. However, if it is to stir in its sleep and wake, the ground around it will shake and shift violently, causing massive earthquakes. Design-wise, I wanted to play on the idea of this world frog carrying around the earth, therefore, it's a ground type, but also a fire type due to its control of the earth and subsequently the magma and heat at its core. I struggled finding a way to literally include water origins, as I don't want to have water spewing from its behind, but it is referenced in its ability and move pool. I love the work Bosgarong did on this guy. It really gives us the same vibe as other sub-legends in the series and looks incredibly powerful, but has the cute traits of a big old frog. As noted before, Eruptoad was designed as a sub-legendary Pokemon. Therefore, it will share 600 BST with its fellow fire frog Heatran. This is the stat spread I came up with. 100 HP, 70 attack, 140 defense, 145 special attack, 100 SPDF, and 45 speed. Eruptoad is pretty min-maxed. Obviously, it's going to be incredibly slow with its big body carrying around massive land masses. However, where it lacks in speed and its mediocre physical attack stat, it makes up for in spades with its incredible bulk and special attack. This will allow Eruptoad to find multiple switch-ins and throw off its new signature move, Aftershock, a ground-type Future Sight clone that has 120 base power and does damage 2 turns after it is clicked. Much like Tranquilo, I won't list off every move this Pokemon could get in its move pool. Instead, I'll mention its relevant moves between its offenses and its utility. Offensively, it would have great stab options in Aftershock, Earth Power, Scorching Sands, Flamethrower, Overheat, Fire Blast, Eruption, and Lava Plume. Coverage-wise, it would be a bit more limited, with access to Power Gem, Ancient Power, Solar Beam, and Scald. Scald is a cool reference to its legend of origin, having the frog spew water as well. This is also represented in its ability, Dry Skin. This eliminates its worst weakness. It makes sense thematically due to its origins and due to the fact that its body is so hot. Water would just evaporate upon touching it. It would have the hidden ability of Flame Body, another great ability that makes sense thematically. Lastly, utility move-wise, it wouldn't have much. I don't want to give it setup or recovery, as I feel like that make it a bit broken. However, I would give it access to Stealth Rock, Spikes, and Will-O-Wisp. I think Eruptoad would be pretty incredible. Its raw bulk, power, and Aftershock would allow for some incredible synergy with some teams. Could you imagine dealing with Eruptoad and Kyurem? Good luck. That's going to be the video, guys. Let me know what you think of the two Pokemon, Tranquilio and Eruptoad. Now, I won't lie, naming-wise, I had so much trouble with naming this. So if you guys have actually better ideas for these guys' names, I'm totally fine with retconning them and changing them up. Please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know more competitive niches and ideas you would like me to kind of explore. I'd love to make this into like a monthly series. It costs money to get these commissions, so I don't know if I can do it weekly. But like monthly, doing a video like this, I think would be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Again, huge thank you to Bosgarong. He's done a couple commissions for us in the past with Mega Aurorus and Tyrantium. That was a really fun video. He did great there. Did great here. Huge shouts to him. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please like it. Please sub to the channel. It gives people more incentive to, come and watch and, maybe the content blows up a little bit and we can make more of these. So, yeah, again, like if you enjoyed, sub if you're new. See you guys next time. Later.